Hey, thank you for tuning in 915 High School Football Insiders. Coach Pry, thanks for having us out here to Coronado.
Thank you.
So, Coach, first time talking to you. Take me through your coaching resume, how you came into football, and how you started coaching.
Okay. So I started out at Burgess High School back in 2010 and 11 with the Jones brothers when they were there. From there, I went to the school down the street for a couple years and then was lucky enough to start Pebble Hills with Coach Torres when we started that. Back in 2015. So was there for 7 years. And then when this job came open, I was probably the first person that applied. Being a Coronado grad, this is where I wanted to end up. So they're going on year 3 here now. So we're starting year 3.
Okay, great. And I tell you what, we've seen a lot of changes since you've taken over. I'm a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, and we set the record one year for the closest losses, the amount of closest losses. I think last year you might have set that record here in the 915. It seemed like every game was a game of the week, but they were close. But unfortunately, most of them were losses, to be honest. But I think a lot of people see that the direction the program is headed and the amount of the players you're returning and the level and caliber of those players and some of the incoming players you got, a lot of people are picking you as favorites for the 6A district. So tell me a little bit about your personal expectations for Coronado going into this season.
I think not to hit on last season because it's over, but you're right. We were 5 points away from being the district champs. We're 1 point away from being in the playoffs, and that was kind of our rally cry this offseason was 1 point. Our offseason shirts said 1 point, or one more. So we were literally 1 point away from being in the playoffs, and we were 6 points away from being 8-2. I'm sorry. So coming into this year, we do return a lot of kids. We have some very talented players, and we are expecting to go to the playoffs. We're expecting to make a push for the district championship, and we want to hold up gold balls at the end of the season.
Outstanding. Now, an important part of that and success is your big name, high impact players. Tell me about some of those guys that we're going to expect a lot about and we're going to see a lot in the paper this year for you guys.
Number one quarterback, QB1, Ben Wilson. The kid's dynamic. He played receiver a little bit last year, played quarterback last year when our quarterback got hurt. And the kid's special. He's just different. He goes from 0 to 100 in about 3 steps. And he's a multi-sport athlete, baseball, football, ran some track. There's not much he can't do. So Ben Wilson is a big name guy. Kason Golding will be a 2-way starter who is probably one of the best leaders I've ever been around. The kids, obviously you can tell his dad's a basketball coach and he was raised the right way. Coach's kid, great. Yeah, he's a coach's kid and he's a grinder. And he's the one that he picks up the 8th graders to the seniors. Everybody around him, that old saying that a rising tide lifts all ships. Kason is the rising tide. So he is really good. Scott Strachan, our middle linebacker, is a returner starter. He's really good. So we've got a good group of kids that we were going to rely on this year.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit about your feeder schools.
Sure.
And some of the programs they have going down there, the relationship you have with your feeder schools, and some of the kids who are coming up that might be making an impact here.
Okay, so we've got 2 feeder patterns. Haskins Sun Bear is recently given back to us. They've been a Coronado feeder for a long time, and they're recently given back to us. And then we've got Murphy as well down the street. So we get the 2 programs. A couple kids coming up from those programs. Wes Stansberry at quarterback will be an impact player as a freshman. Yeah. Chase Golding, who's Kason's little brother. Okay. He will be a varsity impact player as well. And there's a couple other kids that we expect a lot of things out of.
Outstanding. Yeah. And definitely the Sun Bears have had a lot of success historically out there. So you got the potential to get some good players out of a good program out there.
They do a good job.
So that is good. About your philosophy, the TBird takeover, I got to say it's aptly named for this coming season.
It's basically something we put in when we first got here to win back the West Side. Take over the West Side, and it's kind of spilt over to taking over the district, and just kind of been our rally cry of let's put Coronado football back on the map and get back to where we were when I was playing here, which was winning gold balls.
It's one of those the big things in a culture shift in a program is the behind the scenes guys. I like to call them the lunch pail leaders, the guys you'll never read about in the paper, the guys you won't see in a game plan, but they're the guys behind the scenes making things happen in the weight room, helping guys out in the classroom, stuff like that. Who are your leaders like that in your program making things happen for the T-Birds?
So we got to give some love to the O-line. Caden Deitch Frankie, Christian Olivas, Jaden Dorman. Those guys really show up every day. They work hard. They don't expect anything in return. They're just going to go out and do their job. And, those are probably the kids. There's another young man named Mariano Fernandez who plays linebacker for us that is very quiet, be a 2-year starter. He just shows up and works.
Yeah, you got to.
So those are the kids that kind of the lunch pail kids that just show up and go to work.
Outstanding. And those are important. And I tell you, when you talk about the offensive line, anytime you're usually talking about them, it's usually for something bad.
Right. So
it is a thankless job. Now, take us through your pregame ritual. You can start it from the time you wake up until that whistle blows right at 6:30 on a Friday night. So tell me about what it's like for you.
So there's really a couple things I have to do on game day or else I'm all thrown off. And I'm a big routine guy. I have to take my daughter to school.
Okay.
That's game day. She's got to go to school. And then before we either get on the bus or go out to the game, I always have to brush my teeth. I don't know why. I saw my college coach do it once, and I'm thinking, man, there's got to be a reason to it. And there's probably not. But I got to brush my teeth. And, it's a lot of it is just kind of get away from here a little bit. Turn out the noise and put some music on and go for a drive a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's something that I do, and it's really worked for us. After the game, it's take a little bit of look at the film. And then just kind of wind down and go home, and then we'll come back up the next day and go to work. But before the game I've got to take my daughter to school. I usually call my sons and talk to them, and then brush my teeth, and then it's go time.
Hey, and doing anything special for meals? Any special pregame meal? Any special post-game meal for wins? Because we don't celebrate losses.
We don't celebrate losses. Losing's not fun. So our boosters do a really good job. They feed us every pregame meal.
Awesome.
Whether it's Chick-fil-A or Jason's Deli or AJ's Diner, our boosters feed everybody in the program. So whether you're a freshman,
boosters
sophomore,
make it happen.
They do. Our boosters are phenomenal. They make it happen. After the game, if we win, sometimes the guys go out and have a little cold beer and just celebrate the right way. So
hey, there you go.
But it's really, that 24-hour rule, whether you win or lose, you get 24 hours to celebrate, 24 hours to think about it, and then it's on to the next game. So, that's kind of what we do.
Outstanding, Coach. Sounds like fun. All right, sell me on why I, as a parent or a student athlete, should want to come here and be part of the TBird takeover. This is your time to sell your program, Coach.
I think number one is the kids we have. We've got some phenomenal kids that are good to be around. We've got probably the best coaching staff in the city. We've got the best strength and conditioning coach in the city with Coach Ayala. His results are proven. But really, I think it's, everyone's going to use the term culture, but I think the way we do things here is a little bit different. Whether it's the accountability, the love, and just the way we treat our players. It's a little bit different, and I've kind of sprinkled everything that we've learned at all the other programs I've been at and put together our own culture. But the way we take care of kids is a little bit different. We're not afraid to tell them we love them, but we're not afraid to bust them when they're late. So we'll hold them accountable. We'll get them ready for life. And really, we like to find out what their goals are and have them achieve their goals. And whatever we can do to be a big part of that, we're going to do.
Outstanding, Coach. Well, I tell you what, you sold me. Hey, good luck this upcoming season. There's a lot of expectations for the T-Birds, and I think you're going to have a great season, Coach. Appreciate you having us out.
Good luck to you guys as well. Thank you guys for all you do.
Hey, yeah.